If you're concerned about keeping indoor houseplants that are not succulents, just relax. It's really not that difficult. Hi, I'm Joyce Mass, Bloomscape's plant mom. Today I'm going to talk to you about 5 easy to care for plants that are not succulents. As plant mom for Bloomscape, I bring with me probably 40 plus years of experience in the plant and greenhouse industry, as well as the floriculture industry. Indoor plants can improve your home by purifying the air, because plants are natural air purifiers. They can also boost your mood, help with your memory, and give you a feeling of gezelligheid. And gezellig is a Dutch word that encompasses a warm, cozy, inviting environment. This is a red prayer plant, also called a marantha. The prayer plant has some unique characteristics. When the sun is at its brightest, or the light is at its brightest in the room, it has more of a flatter look. When the light is a little bit lower, it starts to raise its leaves up a bit, like praying hands. This is an excellent plant for beginners. It is so easy to care for. It can be in a variation of light. This red prayer plant would do great on a windowsill. It also will do great in your bathroom area, or in your bedroom, or in a kitchen. It can adjust to a little bit lower light. But if you want something to spruce up a lower light area, this is a great choice. The red prayer plant is a pet-friendly plant. One of the most common causes for plant issues is overwatering your plants. Watering a plant should not be so much how many times per week, but you need to go from what we like to call the touch test. And that's where you take your finger and kind of just touch the soil and go down about an inch or 2 and see if it's dry down there. If it is, then I suggest you water it thoroughly, allowing the water to flow into the saucer below. Then let it rest for a second and then take the water out of the saucer. This is a ponytail palm. This is also an excellent plant for beginners. This plant is very forgiving. If you skip a watering, that is not a problem. This has like a bulb down here where it stores its water. This is kind of a unique plant. It can take direct sunlight. Feel free to bring this one outside in the summertime. In the winter, when things get a little cooler, it's no problem to bring this one inside and even keep it in a lower light area. It's almost like this plant stores up all the sunlight it received in the summer, and in the winter in a lower light area, it's just fine. And this plant is very safe for pets. Ponytail palm, sometimes the little tips will turn brown. That's nothing wrong with the plant, it's just the nature. So you can take a sharp scissors or pruning shears and just make a little snip where the brown area is, and your plant looks great again. This is a red aglaonema. It has these beautiful red stripes on the side, so the more light you give it, the more pronounced the colors will be. The red aglaonema, as far as watering goes, it likes to be kept moist, but don't give it too much water. This one can never be in direct sunlight because the leaves will start scorching and become sunburned. The aglaonema can adjust to fluorescent lighting. It's kind of unique that way. One of the things, if you start noticing some browning tips on the edge of this plant, the aglaonemas can be kind of sensitive to any type of fluoride or chlorine in water that we find in tap water nowadays. So what we say is, if you don't have distilled water, it's easy. Just fill up a pitcher the night before you need to water it, allow it to sit out, and all of those minerals will evaporate, and then you can water your plant with a little more purified water. This aglaonema is not safe for pets. It won't fatally harm them, but it can cause upset stomachs and mouth irritation. This is a spider plant. This is also a plant that's very good for beginners and very easy to take care of, and what we call a forgiving plant. If a water is missed once or twice, that's not a problem. Just water it thoroughly and your plant will be back where it was before. This plant can be definitely in a low light area. This would be a great plant for a bathroom, a kitchen, maybe a little nook or cranny in your hallway. The more light it will get, the variegation will be more pronounced, but it doesn't have to have that to thrive. The spider plant is safe for pets. One of the unique things about this plant is, as it matures, it starts sending off runners with little baby, what we call spiderets on it. And as that grows, you can cut that off and place it in a little bit of soil, keeping it nice and moist, and you will grow a new plant, or you could give it away to a friend. After a while, this plant will need to be repotted, and you will again see it by if there's any roots coming from the bottom of the pot, or if you start to see roots coming out of the top of the pot. And then I would suggest just going one pot size up before repotting. This is a ZZ plant, or what we also call almost the indestructible plant. This is an excellent plant for beginners. You can forget about this plant. As a matter of fact, you're doing it a favor by forgetting about it. I like to say the best thing you can do for this plant is to ignore it. It's true. Just ignore it. That's the best thing you can do. This is a perfect plant for people who travel. The best place for a ZZ is probably an indirect light. It can go into a low light area. It can go into an area with fluorescent lighting. You just cannot place it in an area that has the direct sun rays right on its leaves because it will burn. This ZZ plant is not safe for pets. If your little furry friend munches on one of the leaves, it can cause stomach indigestion and mouth irritation. The only way you can really kill this plant is overwatering it, which it will show you very quickly by displaying and presenting with yellow leaves. Once that happens, stop watering and let it dry out and let it become acclimated again. My advice is don't water them too much. If you really want to do something good for your plant and give it an extra treat, I would say get a mister and go ahead and mist these plants daily, especially in the winter months. No harm will come to the plant if you mist. If you have any questions about the plants you've seen here today, you can contact me directly via plantmom@bloomscape.com and I will answer your questions. So just relax, breathe, and enjoy your plants.